What's up, y'all? Today we are attempting to beat Pokemon Leaf Green with only an Omanyte. Omanyte is a water rock type, making it weak to electric, ground, fighting, and a 4 times weakness to grass. However, since Omanyte is a part water type, we at least have an advantage against ground type. Omanyte here has a base stat total of 355 with low HP and speed. Now there are 4 specialists in Gen 1 that are a problem, that being Lieutenant Surge, the electric gym leader, Erica, the grass gym leader, Giovanni, the ground gym leader, and Bruno, the fighting type Elite 4 member. Now with that being said, let's get started. I am going to pick Bulbasaur and my rival will have Charmander. And before you comment saying, "Oh, that's not a challenge," look at the base stat total and I have to battle a grass type gym leader, so it's still pretty challenging. So pretty please let this slide. Now we catch Omanyte, who takes 21 balls to catch. Now we make it to Viridian City. Now we head to Viridian Forest and crush Kit's bugs. Yeah. Now we make it to Pewter City and take on Brock. Sends out Geodude, I one-shot with Water Gun, and sends out Onyx, uses Bind, but one-shot with Water Gun, earning us the first gym badge. We teach Omanyte Rock Tomb. Now we collect the running shoes. Now we head to Mount Moon. After beating this guy, I pick the Dome Fossil because Kabutops beats Lord Hirix by a long shot. Hey, don't be sad. I'm using you. You're still a champ, okay? I make it to Cerulean City and take on our rival. Sends Pidgeotto and I use Rock Tomb, doing a lot, and finish it with Water Gun. Sends Abra, who falls, to Bite. Sends Charmander, who uses Metal Claw but dies to Water Gun. Sends Rattata, who uses Tackle but dies to Water Gun, beating our rival. Now we take on Misty. Sends out Staryu, uses Harden, and Rock Tomb does alright. Uses Water Pulse and dies to Bite. Sends out Starmie, uses Water Pulse and does it again, and Bite does a lot. And uses Super Potion and uses Water Pulse, and Bite does a lot and uses Water Pulse again, and dies to Bite, earning us the second gym badge. Then we teach Omanyte Water Pulse. Then we get Bill's tickets. Now I grab a Meowth as an HM user and make it to Vermilion City. Then we get to SSN, then we battle our rival. Sends Pidgeotto and uses Gust. Misses Rock Tomb and uses Sand Attack, then dies to Rock Tomb. Sends Kadabra, uses Confusion and dies to Bite. Sends Charmeleon, uses Growl, then dies to Water Pulse. Sends Raticate, uses Hyper Fang, then dies to Water Pulse, beating our rival. Then we teach Cut to Meowth. Then we take on Lieutenant Surge, sends Voltorb, uses Screech, and Mudshot does a lot, then dies to second Mudshot. Sends Pikachu, uses Double Team, and dies to one Mudshot. Sends Raichu, uses Shockwave, and Mudshot does a lot. I kept spamming Super Potions until it eventually ran out of Shockwaves, and then last Mudshot beats Raichu, earning us the third gym badge. Then I teach Meowth Flash, we make it to Rock Tunnel, and teach Omanyte Rock Slide. Now we head to Lavender Town. Then we head to Celadon City, we grab the coin case, get dozens of coins, and I buy Ice Beam and teach the Omanyte. Then we take on Giovanni, sends Onyx, uses Rock Throw but dies to Water Pulse, sends Kangaskhan, who uses Fake Out and Mega Punch and I miss Rock Slide, and Rock Slide does half but uses Bite but dies to Ice Beam, sends Rhyhorn, who I one-shot with Water Pulse, beating Giovanni. We take on Erica, sends Victreebel and dies to Ice Beam, sends Tangela dies to Ice Beam, sends Vileplume dies to Ice Beam, earning us the 4th gym badge. Okay, I know I just one-shot everything, but you wait, there's something super scary. Now we battle our rival again. Sends Pidgeotto, uses Quick Attack and dies to Rock Slide. Sends Execute, dies to Ice Beam, sends Kadabra, dies to Bite, sends Gyarados and Rock Slide does a lot. He uses Bite, but I copy him, beat Gyarados, sends Charmeleon, and dies to Water Pulse, beating our rival. Now we make it to Saffron City, and we battle our rival again. Sends Pidgeot, uses Wing Attack, and Rock Slide does a lot. Uses Wing Attack, but dies to Ice Beam, sends Execute, and dies to Ice Beam. Sends Alakazam, and uses Reflect, and Bite does a lot, and uses Future Sight. Second Bite beats it, sends Gyarados and uses Bite, and Rock Slide does a little, uses Dragon Rage and I use Rock Slide, and I die to Future Sight, losing her to our rival. Let's go again. Sends Pidgeot, uses Feather Dance but dies to Ice Beam, sends Execute, uses Confusion and dies to Ice Beam, sends Alakazam and uses Calm Mind, and Rock Slide does half and dies to Bite, sends Gyarados and Rock Slide does a little and uses Dragon Rage. I almost beat it and I died to Future Sight, losing again. Round 3. Sends Pidgeot and uses Wing Attack and dies to Ice Beam. Sends Execute and dies to Ice Beam. Sends Alakazam and dies to Bite. Sends Gyarados, uses Dragon Rage and Rock Slide does half. I live Future Sight, Dragon Rage does a lot and dies to Rock Slide. Sends Charizard, uses Flamethrower and uses Smoke Screen, and Rock Slide does a lot, uses second Flamethrower and dies to Bite, finally beating our rival. Now we take on Giovanni. Sends Nidorino, uses Horn Attack, but Water Pulse does a lot, causing confusion, uses Poison Sting and dies to Water Pulse. Sends Nidoqueen and uses Tail Whip and Ice Beam does a lot. After second Tail Whip, it falls to Bite and I get poisoned. I one-shot Rhyhorn with Water Pulse. Sends Kangaskhan and uses Mega Punch and Ice Beam does half. After 2 12s, it dies to Ice Beam, being Giovanni. I hit the Fuchsia City and grab Surf from Safari Zone and teach it to Omanyte. Now to take Toga. Sends out Coffin and one-shot with Ice Beam. Sends out Mug, almost KO, and uses Minimize and crit with Surf. Sends out Coughing, KO with Surf. Sends out Wheezing, which dies to Surf, earning us the 5th gym badge. We're back at Saffron City. Take on Sabrina. Sends out Kadabra, uses Reflect and dies to Bite. Sends Mr. Mime, uses Calm Mind and almost dies, and Surf uses Hyper Potion. I use Surf again and uses Side Beam and dies to Bite. Sends Venomoth, who uses Supersonic and dies to Rock Slide. Sends Alakazam and uses Psychic. I switch into Meowth and let it die. Switch back and uses Calm Mind, and I use Bite and live Future Sight and Psychic and finish it with Bite, finally earning us a 6th gym badge. We make it to Cinnabar Island. We take on Blake. Here's the plan. Sends Growlithe, Helix Surf. Sends Arcanine, uses Bite but Helix Surf. Sends Ponyta, uses Fire Blast but Helix Surf. Sends Rapidash, uses Fire Blast but Helix Surf, earning us the 7th gym badge. We're back here at Viridian City, and we battle Giovanni. Sends out Rhyhorn and dies to Surf. Second Rhyhorn dies to Surf. Sends out Trio, uses Earthquake but dies to Surf. Sends Nidoqueen and uses Earthquake and dies to Surf. Sends Nidoqueen and uses 2 Earthquakes and falls to Surf, earning us the final gym badge. We take on our rival again. Sends Pidgeot and dies to Ice Beam. Sends Execute, who dies to Ice Beam. Sends Alakazam and Bite does a lot and second Bite beats it. Sends Rhyhorn and dies to Surf. Sends Gyarados, uses Rain Dance and Rock Slide does little. I live a Hydro Pump and Rock Slide still doesn't KO, but he misses Hydro Pump and dies to Bite. Sends Charizard, uses Wing Attack and Rock Slide does a lot, but then uses Flamethrower and dies to Surf, beating our rival. We make it to Victory Road. We have made it. Wish me luck. I need it. Now we battle Lorelei. Sends Dugong and I finally hit Rock Slide after 3 starts. Uses Hail and dies to second Rock Slide. Sends Cloyster and Rock Slide does okay, then dies to Bite. Sends Slowbro and Bite does a lot and second Bite beats it. Sends Lapras, uses Confuse Ray, Rock Slide does alright, and uses Surf and Bite does a bit. Lapras heals and surfs me twice and one last surf and I bite, beating Lapras. Sends Jinx. Jinx uses 2 Ice Punches and I use Bite and uses Love Root Kiss and Attract. Yay! And uses Ice Punch and I beat it with Bite, finally beating Lorelei. We take on Bruno. Sends Onyx and uses Earthquake and dies to Surf. And the exact same thing happened. Onyx, Earthquake, Surf, yada yada yada. And sends Hitmonchan, I live Sky Uppercut, and Surf does a lot. I barely live second Sky Uppercut and dies to Bite. And second and Hitmonlee, I live Break Break and Surf does a lot. I barely live second Break Break and dies to Surf. Sends Machamp and uses Cross Chop, and Surf does a lot and uses Ball Chop and dies to Surf, finally beating Bruno. We might have a chance. Now to battle Agatha. Sends Gengar and after 2 double teams it dies to Surf. Sends Golbat and uses Bite but dies to Ice Beam. Sends Haunter, uses Curse but dies to Bite. Sends Gengar and uses Hypnosis and Shadow Ball but dies to Surf. Sends Arbok, misses Iron Tail and dies to Surf, beating Agatha. Now for Lance. Sends Gyarados and uses Dragon Rage and Bite and Dragon Rage and Rock Slide does okay. And uses 2 bites and almost beat it, and Rock Slide still sucks, and after 3 bites and Dragon Rage it is this Ice Beam. And sends Dragonair, Thunder Waves me and dies to Ice Beam. Sends other Dragonair and uses Outrage and dies to Ice Beam. Sends Dragonite but uses Outrage but dies to Ice Beam. Sends Aerodactyl, uses Ancient Power but dies to Surf, beating Lance. Now for the final battle. Since Pidgeot uses Aerial Ace but dies to Ice Beam. Since Rhydon who dies to Surf, so I ran into a small problem. I cannot do anything. We try again. Since Pidgeot uses Feather Dance and dies to Ice Beam and Rhydon dies to Surf. Sends Exegator and dies to Ice Beam. Okay, now you can scream at me in the comments. Sends Alakazam uses Psychic but dies to Surf. Since Gyarados uses Dragon Rage and Hydro Pump, and Rock Slide is ass and uses Hydro Pump, and Ice Beam does a lot, I misses Hydro Pump and dies to Ice Beam. It sends Charizard, uses Fire Blast and Rock Slide does a lot, and uses Fire Blast but lacks Rock Slide, beats Charizard, beating the champion. My lord, that was a handful. But we did it. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and check out our other videos, like this one where I reenact everyone's reaction to Scarlet and Violet and compare it to mine. Anyway, see y'all in the next video, goodbye, and have a great day!